morning, Starshines. I would love to be making this video when there's not a garbage truck outside, but apparently that's just not gonna happen today because this truck has been here for like years. Today I wanted to do a quick follow-up review for the books that I got in my last comic Bento. So I'm just going to go through them really quickly. I am glad to report that I did not dislike any of these books. They all range from okay to pretty good. First one, John Carter, Gods of Mars. Basically, this is about John Carter waking up in the middle of nowhere, doesn't know where he is, trying to go back to his kingdom and find his wife. You know, as you can tell by the tone of my voice, I really liked it. That's honestly all the plot I can really give you that I can remember off the top of my head. I did read this one first. It's fine. I don't have anything against it, and there might be better John Carter books out there. This one in particular, I just didn't find that interesting. Like, a lot of like plot conveniences where like, oh, he's about to die, but oh, one of his friends is there. Comic conveniences that I know happens, but it happens a lot in this book that I find a little irritating. My first impression of John Carter from this book is that he is an idiot. Every time he's like, oh, I don't think before I do things, and he gets into situations where he's being dumb and then he gets knocked out and then his friends have to go and save him. Why would anybody follow this guy? He's kind of a jerk. He doesn't make sense. He doesn't think before he does anything, and he makes everybody take care of him because he's reckless. So in my opinion, John Carter's not a leader I would follow. This is the only John Carter book I've read. I just didn't get a good impression from him from this book. I like the other characters in it. They all seemed very cool. His wife seems like a badass. Even his like companion, whose name I can't remember right now, seems cool, and there's another female in there that's cool. I honestly, as you can tell, I don't find a lot of this super memorable. It's a short book. It's a quick read. I thought it was okay. Pharaoh City is another one that I got. Pharaoh City I feel very similar about. I liked it for the most part. It was a very quick read. I do like the art style for the most part. It is very sketchy kind of looking, and I think it works a lot for that kind of film noir kind of feel. The characters have, you know, the kind of detail you would expect in that type of thing. But on the same note, the art is a little to its disadvantage sometimes. There's certain panels where I could literally not tell what was going on because there was so little detail on the panel, and I kind of had to like piece together. I'm like, okay, well, he's here in this panel, so this must have happened here. It doesn't happen a ton, but there's a couple panels where really, truly, I don't know what's going on. I feel like it is a story I've heard before, or a story that's very similar, but I do like the world that it creates. It's basically a detective, his partner dies, they're trying to figure out why he died. He had this, he was making a deal with somebody. They're trying to figure out why he made that deal. Robots are fighting for equal rights. The robots have an interesting design. It's kind of something, again, I feel like I have seen before, where it's like kind of a glass head and you can kind of see the circuitry within. Humanoid type body. This does range on the okay to good scale for me. I would recommend this one way more over John Carter. I think I could see a lot of people liking this one. Verja, Son of Suns. This one's a little confusing. The way they describe it on the back is towns. So his town is destroyed, so he's forced to live in this other town, and so he's trying to infiltrate the people who kind of orchestrated his original hometown of being destroyed, and he's infiltrating their base and trying to, you know, kill the people responsible, but things are not going great. They end up getting attacked as well, and there's this whole big war going on. I really do like the artwork in this. More so I like the coloring. The colors are very vibrant and pretty. Characters all seem pretty interesting. This is one I think I would definitely continue. It seems interesting. It's a little weird, little confusing, trying to kind of get into this world that has a lot of rules and everything's kind of set in place already, and you kind of just are thrown into it, so to speak. And I think that's fine. I really enjoyed this one. I definitely think I will continue the series. For the grand finale, the book that I liked the most was The Surrogates. I liked this a ton. I couldn't believe how much I liked this book. I was so excited to read it. It's actually significantly smaller than what you see here. I think it's only like probably like 3/4 of what you see here. This whole end of the book is just extras, concept art, stuff like that. Surrogates is great. I have not seen the movie yet. I intend to watch it soon because I really like this so much. Basically, in The Surrogates, or in this world where they have created these kind of robot counterparts, you go into this machine, the surrogate lives your life for you, so that you're protected. Pretty much everybody in the world operates surrogates rather than using their own body. The interesting thing about this book is that it really does kind of highlight the negatives and positives to doing this lifestyle, and there are a lot of positives. There's newspaper articles, online blog posts that you get in between the chapters, which are great by the way, but they kind of highlight how surrogates are affecting the economy and how people relate to each other in general. They were even saying that a lot of males who like working in clothing stores would have a female surrogate. They knew they could do well in the industry, but as a man, they couldn't do those jobs. So they would have a female surrogate and work in like a clothing store, and they would like totally be killing it. You know, vice versa. There would be a lot of females with male surrogates that would go into male-dominated professions, and, you know, it gave these people an opportunity to do something that they want to do, but were limited by their gender in the real world. With having a complete police force that is surrogates, you limit the dangers that the police have to face. Nobody gets hurt, there's less disease. It definitely has these dystopian themes. There's a lot of positives to it, so it's kind of hard to be like, oh yes, these are evil, they're horrible, when they really have a lot of advantages. Yeah, basically the story follows a cop, oddly enough. They find this surrogate who seems to be able to deactivate other surrogates. He's breaking into buildings, taking top secret information, he's disabling all these surrogates, and he eventually does disable the main character's surrogate, so he is forced to use his own body. It just kind of goes through that story. They're trying to figure out who this guy is, what his intentions are. I can't speak highly enough about this book. The art again is very strange. It's not very detailed. The colors are not, there's usually not a lot of color in the panels. It is often black and white or very limited coloring. It works really well for this. Storytelling is great. I love those little articles that are in between the chapter. You really get immersed in this world. It kind of like Virgil, where it does kind of throw you into it. It doesn't necessarily spoon feed you everything. It kind of expects you to catch on pretty quickly. I did not feel confused at all. This is absolutely my favorite out of the comic bento this month. I would wager to say that all 4 of these books are not books that I would have picked up on my own. So I really enjoyed that, because again, sci-fi is not something I would always read. I'm excited to get my comic bento next week, I think, so, and I will be showing you guys that. I also have this book just got its retail release, so I will try to be reviewing this next week. I hate telling you guys I'm going to review something, because sometimes I read it and I have nothing to say about it. Like these books, some of them I don't have a ton to say about. Definitely recommend Pharaoh City, Virja, and The Surrogates, absolutely. So, alright guys, we will hopefully see you next week. Goodbye! Goodbye! Leah, do you want to say bye? No? Okay.